Peace, peace. What's good, y'all? Rob Blackstorm here. I just want to come in. I want to talk to y'all today about the solstice, the summer solstice, and how to harness the energy of the summer solstice. First and foremost, we have to get into what is the solstice. Well, the word solstice, the first part of the word is soul, S-O-L. So when you deal with soul or S-O-L, you're dealing with the sun. And what this deals with, also as a sidebar, is when people talk about the soul, we have to realize that the soul and the spirit are two different things. When we're talking about the soul, we're talking from a solar perspective or a sun perspective. And when we're talking about things that are solar or things that are dealing with the sun, we're dealing with, of course, heat, light, fire, and energy, right? Energy in motion, not energy at rest, but energy in motion. Things that are fiery, things that are energetic. So when we're dealing with the soul, we're dealing with things that are in motion, things that have movement, things that are fiery. So when we, the soul, or the soul of us would be our solar plexus. It's called the solar plexus because it really directs the energy in our body, and it's right under your abdomen. Right, the heart is up here, solar plexus, right around here, right? And if you look at your chakra chart, you will see that as well. So your soul corresponds to your heart. Your soul has to do with activity. Even when you're asleep, your heart is moving, your heart is beating. When you're, and obviously when you're not at rest, you're in motion, right? Your eyes are flickering, you're breathing, your cells, your blood is moving and circulating through your body. So there's motion involved. So that is the soul. When you deal with the soul, you're dealing with a physical thing that is active. When you deal with soul, you're dealing with rhythm. That's why people say when they can dance, you have soul. Or when you have a certain swag or a certain rhythm about yourself, you have soul. So that's how that comes in. When you're dealing with spirit, you're dealing with something that is non-active. So that's the separation between soul and spirit. When you're dealing with spirit, you're dealing with particularly breath. Now you may say breath or oxygen is active. Yes, breath or oxygen is active. However, when you die, your breath will not go with, your breath is going to remain. Your breath or your subconscious mind, right, which is what oxygen is basically fueling. It's fueling your body, but it's also fueling your subconscious and your conscious mind, but your subconscious mostly because you don't see oxygen the same way you don't see your mind. You don't see your breath the same way you don't see your thoughts, right? All these things are hidden from you. So when you're dealing with the soul, you're dealing with something physical. When you're dealing with spirit, you're dealing with something that is not physical, something that's not tangible, something that is in motion. Dark matter, before dark matter, and we're dealing with dark matter that is in space, the cosmos. You could say dark matter is just space. If you look at the cosmos as a blanket, and you could say the blanket and just put, it's a black blanket, and just put stars on top of that blanket, right? Go to Michael's, get those little stars that you put on the roof, right? On your kids, you can put on your kids' roof. The word solstice, back to that. The word solstice, the first part of the word is sun. The second part of the word is stellum, or stellum just means still, right? Stellium. Stellium just means still. So you have the sun, and then you have stillness. Now, the solstice is the longest, the summer solstice is the longest day of the year. There's also the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year. The winter solstice is December 21st. And that's the day, and the same thing you do with the winter solstice is what you would do with the summer solstice, but with a little bit of difference. But I'm just going to talk about the summer solstice for today. When the winter solstice comes, I'll do a video on the winter solstice. So with the summer solstice, basically what it is the earth is really being, the earth is at its max tilt. The North Pole is at its max tilt towards the sun. And it is close to the tropic in Cancer. It's actually facing the tropic in Cancer. What is the tropic of Cancer? This is a celestial star system. So basically it's facing a certain amount of stars. And it is also giving us a longer day, which means we're getting more sunlight, which means we're getting more energy, which means we're getting more heat. If you are melanated, this is a grand thing, super powerful thing, because you're actually getting more solar rays. And these solar rays directly correspond to your melanin. What melanin is melanin basically just absorbs light and converts light to energy. That's it. Melanin absorbs light and converts light to energy. Now, the solstice is today, started at 11:45 a.m. I shot this a little bit after the solstice because I wanted to meditate prior to that. So after I did that, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside, I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to sit outside for a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to absorb the sun. And I'm going to absorb the sun, and I'm going to go back into another set of meditation, and I'm going to be thinking about my plans, my goals, and my dreams. Now, the summer solstice for the Cometians or the Egyptians, to go back into our ancient history, because if you're black, you have a connection to Kemet. There's no way, because we are the first man and the first woman, the African. So if we are going back into Kemet, we have to realize that what happened is this. What happened is during the solstice, or when the summer solstice would come, flood, the river Nile would flood. And what the river Nile flood would do, it would basically water or wash over the crops. It would signal that new crops were returning, that there was new food being given, and basically signaling new life with that flooding of the Nile. So there was always a celebration. There was always a rejoicing. If you look and Google, you can Google this today, you'll see that there was a celebration at Stonehenge. Stonehenge is a structure, I believe, don't quote me on this. It's someplace in Europe. I can't remember where right now. Maybe I'll put that in the video at some point. Probably not. But I'll probably, whilst I'm saying this, I'm going to put it someplace up top there so you'll know where it is. But Stonehenge, they're worshiping. And what they're doing at Stonehenge, they're worshiping, right? They're honoring the sun. And there is a gate where the sun passes straight through that circle. Stonehenge is an ancient structure that's sitting on a ley line. A ley line is earthly energy source. There are different earthly energy sources. For instance, if you live in New York City and you are spiritually in tune, walk into Washington Square Park. Walk through the entrance of Washington Square Park. Once you walk into Washington Square Park, you're going to feel different. There's a different energy in Washington Square Park. It's nothing that you could really explain, but it's an energy center. There's power in Washington Square Park. Whenever I go in there, as soon as I walk in, I feel different. There is a shift of energy. Also, there's parts of Central Park where you go by the fountain, where you go by the obelisk, where the Tekken is, that they took from Egypt. That's an energy center. There's a different power at that place, and that's why they put certain things there. The Great Pyramid is built on a ley line. It's an energy center. It's where light comes in through the top, or electromagnetic rays come through the top of the Great Pyramid, and were used for divinity or divining, or for spiritual enhancement, for spiritual growth, and to overcome challenges and obstacles, which is why we're doing a spiritual thing anyway. So when we're talking about the summer solstice, there's a lot of rituals that can be done. As I explained, what I'm going to do, go to the gym, I'm going to sit in the sun probably for an hour. It's not really sunny right now in New York, it's raining, so I might not sit outside. You know, if it's raining, obviously I can't sit outside, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to harness that sun deity. One of the sun deities that we could work with, especially on this day, is Shango, if you are a member of Yoruba. If you understand Yoruba, if you understand Shango, Shango is the deity that you can invoke today. It is a deity that relates to the sun. And you could look more into Shango, you know, study up on that, get into that. Another deity, Cometian deity, that I would advise people could use is, when I'm going to use myself, because I mostly work with Kemetic deities, is Heru. And Heru, what Heru deals with is willpower, the ability to ascend past your difficulties, the ability to move past things that are holding you back, the ability to transform your life and achieve your goals. Now, why is this important? Who wants to go through life not achieving their goals? Who wants to go through life not seeing their wishes fulfilled? So one of the things that Heru is a falcon. Now, if you saw the Atlanta Falcon football team, the Atlanta Falcon football team, the Falcon, obviously the Atlanta Falcons are not worshiping the Atlanta Falcon. They're not worshiping the Falcon on their logo, right? And this is the misconception a lot of people have when they talk about Egypt, or they talk about Cometian theology or cosmology, which is the study of the cosmos. When they talk about these things, they talk about the Egyptians like they were animal worshipers. That's not the case. Are the Atlanta Falcons worshiping the Falcon? No. Are the New York Giants worshiping a giant? Are the Dallas Cowboys worshiping a cowboy? No. What these things are called logos. And we see a logo now. If you look at McDonald's, you see the arches, you know the logo. You see the Burger King, you know the Burger King logo. But this is taken from our science, our Cometian science, and the Greeks called it logos. And logos is basically, to put it simply, is what we would say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So it's the same thing. A logo is a picture that is worth 1,000 words. So when you see that falcon for the Atlanta Falcons, you know that that falcon is representing the Atlanta Falcon football team trying to win a Super Bowl, trying to rise higher, trying to overcome their opponents. It's representative of an ideal. It's representative of the company. It's representative of the team. But that does not mean that they have falcons that they are bowing to and praying to, right? So when we're dealing with Heru, Heru is a falcon. And a falcon has the ability to see, I believe it's 3 miles. So that means a falcon has perception, illuminated perception. Because if a falcon can see from 3 miles, a falcon can see what's going, what's coming, and this allows them to hunt effectively. And this allows them to see effectively. Also, a falcon is the fastest animal on the planet, faster than a cheetah. A falcon can move 246 miles per hour, top speed, right? A falcon can move. So a falcon is one of the fastest. So the reason Heru the falcon, or what they call Horus in the Greek, Heru or Horus in the Greek, was represented this way is, or used as a logos, or used as a deity, or personified as a deity, is to show that we need to have, or when you're moving up the spiritual development, and also if you're into the Kabbalah, Heru would also be classified as Tiferet, right? So basically what we're doing is we are using solar. Heru is about solar energy, but solar energy is about willpower. And willpower, contrary to popular opinion, has nothing to do with emotion. All right, willpower, people say, oh, you gotta feel it. Oh, you gotta, you have to be inspired, right? Divinely. People will say, especially with the law of attraction, right? People will say, oh, I have to be, what is the word that they used? Basically that the emotion has to back the desire, right? There has to be some emotional compulsion to achieve, some emotional compulsion to do the right thing. So emotional compulsion to make you get up and get out and get something. Now, that is for the non-superior man. Science, psychologists, what they say is this. They say if you are the age of 25 and above, that change is pretty much impossible. The person you were from the age of 0 to 25, that set of persona, right? Persona, sona, through, per meaning through, sona meaning sound. So through sound, we create ourselves through sound waves, through what we hear, primarily, right? Through the thoughts that we say to ourselves, which creates a sound. So our persona, our personality is created through sound. So our persona after 25 is pretty much what it is. Now there's 2 ways that science and psychology says that you could change. One is trauma, an emotionally traumatic event. 50 Cent, good example. He got shot, right? 9 times, boom. When put his work ethic on, created Get Rich or Die Trying, which was his mantra, I'm sure, his motto, and now look at 50 cents. The trauma changed his life. Some of you may have gone through some trauma, been abused, had bad parents, been in poverty, homeless, in the struggle, you know, whatever it is, had a bad relationship. And this caused you to seek a spiritual path, and this caused you to seek understanding of your life, understanding of others, and understanding of the universe around you, which got you to this point. So, in this exploration of yourself, what it says is, so in this exploration of yourself, they say trauma can change you, and the other second way you can change is through meditation. Meditation and creative visualization. Now, I beat meditation down on y'all because meditation is the most powerful thing you could do. It's literally changed my life, and it's continuously changes my life. It's surprising the things that you can manifest when you visualize it and you see it over and over and over on a repetitive basis. What you're doing with meditation is you're basically tricking your subconscious and hacking your subconscious and telling your subconscious this thing happened even though it doesn't physically happen, and for that physical thing that you're thinking and repetitiously thinking about to manifest in real life. Like, it's a tool for the gods, right? And being that most of us that are watching this are melanated beings, we harness that energy from the sun. Again, melanin, all it is, the simplest way to explain melanin is melanin absorbs energy from the sun and converts that light in our body to reusable energy. That's it. So if you're sitting in the sun for a while, give it a couple of days, you're going to have energy. You may not even realize, because of A, you're getting the vitamin D, and B, we're solar people. We have something in our bodies called biophotons. So those are the two ways, right? And of course, through spiritual means. The third way, which the science doesn't know, is through spiritual means. We light candles. We do rituals to deities. We work on our relationships with people. We share. We're giving. We're loving to our partners. We shine light to our friends. This day of the solstice, this is a solar day. So you want to look at the areas that you need to shine light in, whether it's your relationships with people, whether it's your business relationships, your business partnerships, whether it's your job, your career, whether it's where you live, your environment, right? You want to shine light on these things, and also in being part of the light or being part of the sun or being a solar being, what you want to do is write down, which again I'm going to do. I'm going to meditate, then I'm going to write down more areas of improvement, because I already have areas of improvement that I'm working on, but I'm going to go deeper into those areas of improvement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer at them. I'm going to hammer at them, because the next step is on July 2nd, there's going to be a solstice. I'm sorry, not a solstice. July 2nd, there's going to be an eclipse that's coming up. And that eclipse is going to be powerful. Eclipses are always powerful because of the energy that's radiated. And we're getting X-rays. And if you don't know about X-rays and melanin, look it up. X-rays increase the melanocytes in your body. So when we get X-ray energy, it's actually energy from darkness, energy from dark matter, energy from black holes. So when black holes emit X-rays, if you see that in NASA, get into your meditation, get into your creation, get into your dream, get into your goal space. The energy of the sun also is a working energy. The sun rises, the sun pumps light, the sun pumps solar flares, the sun makes things grow, the sun illuminates things, the sun shows things for what they are. So today things may come up that you didn't expect. And the next couple of days, things may come up that you don't expect. We're heading into the dog days of summer, starting July 4th, when Sirius raises to its highest height above the earth, and it is seen before the sun. We'll get into that in a later video, but I just want to talk about different ways you could use the energy today. And again, going into this cycle is important from the 21st right? Really, the solstice energy is sort of like the 21st, because this is the biggest, today is the biggest, the longest day of the year, and it really extends until the 24th. And the 24th, there's also other celebrations that other cultures do. You could look that up, where they celebrate this time period, because this is a time of growth. This is not like the spring, where the spring is this time of just renewal, things starting over. This is, if you've been doing your work, you have planted your seed in the spring, and you have planted your ideas in the soil of your soul during the spring. And now the summertime is time to get busy. It's time to get busy, time to really work and hack on these things, especially leading into July 2nd's eclipse, and also July 4th, which is really a celebration of Sirius, and we'll get into that as when the time comes. But we're going into the dog days of summer. Dog days meaning the dog star Sirius, and that energy is a 40-day energy. If you see Jesus, he went into the temple 40 days and 40 nights. Right, that's where they got that story from in the Bible. It's the story of the dog days of summer, from July 4th to November 12th. And again, we'll get into that at a later date. What I want to talk about is the summer solstice. So again, Shango, if you could work with your deities, light a candle to Shango, express your desires, talk to your candles, man. Talk to your candles, pray. Send a prayer, pray out loud if you can. If you can't say a prayer in your head, talk to your candle. Get a red candle lighted for Shango. Get a picture of Heru and a red candle lighted for Heru. Picture the falcon taking your dreams. Filter your falcon taking your dreams to outer space. Picture a falcon taking your dream into a black hole. And picture the falcon taking your dreams or your goals where you want to. You can ride on the back of the falcon. You could do anything in your imagination. That's your imagination. That's where creation comes from. Everything. This shirt I'm wearing was an idea in someone's mind. So it was part of someone's imagination. So use your imagination to create your new reality. Use your imagination to create your new reality. They tested sports players sitting down with, I think it's called EKG. I don't know if that's for the brain, but putting on the thing to the EKG so that they could get the electrical signals from the brain, right? So they sit the athlete down. Let's say it's LeBron. They sit the athlete down. And when they sit the athlete down, the athlete is supposed to think about shooting, right? Think about shooting a jumper. Or think about running through the hole. They're a football player, right? And as they're thinking, these electrical signals are firing in their brain. And the same parts of their brain, as if they were actually physically shooting the jump shot or physically running through the hole, is firing in their brain like they're actually doing it and causing physical, biochemical, molecular changes in their physical body as if they were actually doing the act physically. This is the power of your imagination. So this is something that you want to focus on. This is something that you want to harness. This is something that you want to use. Today is a holy day. If you are walking the left-hand path, if you're following the spiritual path, today is a day of improvement. Today is a day that if you have a dream, if you have a goal, which you should have, if you have a desire, even if it's a day to work at it. It's a day to reflect on it, but it's a day to say, okay, how am I going to work at this? How am I going to put foot to ground? This is not it's not like the winter solstice. This is not an energy of just meditation and reflection. This is okay. You're meditating and reflecting, but you're also figuring out, how am I going to make this happen? And you're also taking concrete steps. And if you can't take a concrete step towards your goal today, great, excellent, super. You're riding the wave of energy. Remember, when we deal with energy, we're dealing with waves or currents. And what we want to do is surf on these waves or currents. We want to use the environment because we are one with the environment. We are one with the universe. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur. There's 5 elements make up everything in the universe. Those 5 elements are in you. You are made of stardust. You have, I think it's like 100 trillion cells just in your eyes alone. Or when you die, those atoms go back into the universe. So you always exist. Use your eyes to observe your new reality. and use your hands to make your new reality happen. Because again, we are the soul, we are the sun, we are people of soul people, we are people of rhythm, we are people of, and rhythm has nothing to do with music. We are people that's just in tune with the universe. That's what dancing is. You're in tune with the rhythm. You're in tune with the universe. You're in tune with the natural motion of life. So our goal is to observe these seasons. Our goal is to observe these cycles. Our goal is to harness these cycles as best we can. With that, lecture's getting kind of long. So happy solstice to everyone. I'm going to be coming through much more often, considering what I'm talking about. So you'll see me much more, probably 3 to 4 times a week. I'm going to be coming through with videos. I'm going to be mainly going into commission. I'm going to expose some deities, talk about some deities, talk about the work with some deities, also with different shifts in the moon, different planetary cycles, and we'll talk about some current events and some personal stuff. But I want y'all to know, you'll see me more often. This is part of me putting my foot to the grind and also showing improvement. I've been working out a lot more lately. One thing I want to recommend, if you really want to work out and you really want to get busy in the gym, get an accountability partner. Get somebody that's going to keep you accountable. And this is really not just the gym, but whatever you want to do, get somebody that's going to keep you accountable. And the way you do that is very simple. If it's something you want to do every day, put a cost to it. Nobody likes losing money. Nobody likes losing money. So put a cost to it. Look, I'm going to pay you. If I don't do what I said I'm going to do, this goal by or daily, or this goal by XYZ, I got to pay you such and such amount. Put something financial in it. Put something that you could lose if you don't do it, and watch what happens, and see how much more consistent. And this is for people that need consistency. Some people don't. But again, as we're moving into the dog days of summer, the dog days of summer just have to, it's called the dog days of summer because it deals with the dog star, the Dogon. But what are dogs known for? Verbal commands, sound. What are we telling ourselves? What are we reciting to ourselves? What do we write down about ourselves and our future, right? Writing is spells, so you want to be writing often. You want to have a journal with your desires and your goals and your thoughts, right? And if it doesn't have to be a physical journal, you could just open up a Google Doc and have that saved. But as long as you're writing, right? Writing words are spells. It's called spelling for a reason. And yeah, this is not a thinking holiday. This next especially, when July 4th and those next 40 days, it's about the grind. There's more heat hitting us. It's going to get hotter. So we want to correspond. So sorry about that. I got a call that came in, interrupted me. But yeah, use this energy. This is solar energy. Heat, fire. Put the fire to your ass. Get an accountability partner if you need to. Do your magic. Do your rituals if you need to. Today, tonight. Again, you have to the 24th. So if you see this later, you can still get up on it. Right? But this is a grinding energy. This is not a sit back and chill and woo-woo and the universe will provide and I'm going to sit back on my ass and eat, grape nut ice cream and hot Cheetos and don't do anything with my life. This is not that type of energy. This is a go get it energy. So go get it. Again, I'm going to go to the gym. If you're going to make love today, if you're going to have sex with a beautiful woman, right? If you're a woman with a beautiful man, today is a great day. Have sex. Put your desires, right, when you're having sex, at the point of climax or at the point of extreme pleasure. This is Tantra. Think of what you want to manifest and see yourself working and manifesting. Don't just think of what you want to manifest, but see yourself working and manifesting it. With that said, peace, power, prosperity to you and yours. Rob Blackstorm. I'm out.